Expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody, and welcome inside a Thursday episode of Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. As always, they go the extra mile for you, and we try to do the same, not just on this show, but on YSN every single day. We always thank Greenwood Chevrolet for their constant support of not just this show, but also everything that we do at YSN. So we thank them, and we move on to today's episode. It's going to be a good show today. We have two interviews to play for you guys that are in the can, pre-recorded. We're going to hear today from Madison Kibler from United, a great senior leader for the Eagles that are trying to I don't want to say rebrand, resurge their program. I like that word. We'll go with it. Resurge their program from what it once was. Not too long ago, United was holders of 5 straight league championships, and now they're winners of 2 straight EOAC championships this year, going undefeated in the EOAC. Last year, they had that one loss in the league, so they really wanted to come back this year and prove to everyone that they were absolutely the top dogs, or I should say the top birds in the EOAC, and they did just that by going undefeated. So we'll hear from Madison Kibler on the show today. We'll also hear from a senior from Lowville, someone that's not talked about nearly enough as she should be, Savannah Prochik, who does a lot in this Lowville athletics community. She's a volleyball star. She plays basketball. She also cheerleads. So she's always keeping herself busy. And she'll be missed in Lowville after she graduates. We're going to talk to her a little bit and hear from her, I should say, a little bit on this show as well. So those two will be heard from today on today's episode. We'll also have a recap of last night's action, and we will also, of course, preview tonight's action, the last Thursday of the regular season of girls high school basketball. Not the last day of the regular season. There are still some teams that will finish it up on Saturday, but definitely the last Thursday as we get to the tail end of the last week of the girls regular season, and we go into the last week of the boys regular season next week. So a lot on the line for sure, as leagues are still being finished and championships are still being crowned as we speak. Let's go over the scores from last night. We will start with the first score that came in, and that was Mineral Ridge getting the big non-conference win over Heartland Christian, 58-30. Mineral Ridge has done a really good job this year. We've talked about them before. Program that only won 2 games last year, and I believe that win secured a winning record for the Rams, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to double check that real quick on ysnlive.com/standings, where you can find all of the standings from our YSN schools and conferences that they're involved with. We go to the MVAC, and we go to the Scarlet tier, and Mineral Ridge on the girls' side is sitting at 12-10. So they did secure a winning season, and that's a big jump, 10-win jump from this year to last year. They do lose a couple of important seniors, with Samantha Ollett being a great leader, and then Olivia Booth, of course. But there's a lot of that core returning next year. So congratulations to Middle Ridge on finishing your regular season with a 12-10 winning record. They secured that last night. Obviously, if they would have lost, it would have been a 500 season, but they won last night pretty emphatically to secure that winning season for the Rams after, like I said, a really tough year last year. So congratulations to that program for all they did in that victory. We go to some more scores from last night. We had Wellsville secure their first winning season in quite some time, 39-37. Last year they had 5 wins on the season, but we talked about them quite a bit last season because it was the first year in quite some time last year that they had more than 2 wins. I mean, they were a program that was just trying constantly to put it together, but now here they are going from 5 wins to a winning season this year. So that's really good for the Tigers to, like I said, I think the same boat as Middle Ridge, a program that has been on the struggle bus for the last several years, but now, the year before taking a couple of steps in the right direction, and then this year taking that next step. We talked about that a little bit with Gary Altizer yesterday too. When he was able to stay on for the second half of the show, we talked some Wellsville hoops. I mean, they've taken the next step as a program. They've gone from, okay, we're building that winning mentality, that expectation to win, and now they have it. So there's a little bit of a jump between getting it and trying to understand that you need it, and then this year, of course, having it, grasping it, and using it to your full advantage. And Wellsville has done that really well this year as they win last night by a final score of 39-37, a close one over Edison. Edison gave them everything they could, tried to deny the Tigers of a winning season, but Wellsville too tough. They win by 2. Another score from last night, Garfield got tested in the non-conference affair. 46-34, they beat Berkshire. Berkshire, a pretty good girls team that we'll probably hear from in the district tournament in Division 3. We go to West Branch, going to Austintown Fitch, winning 62-54. Let's take a look at the stats from this game. Ty Bartell was there. He did a great job with his recap. Sophia Gregory absolutely went off for the Warriors, and we've talked about this at length. What a different team West Branch is with her healthy on the floor. 31 points for Sophie Gregory, which I would assume, now I can't back this up, I don't have all the stats, all the game breakdowns in front of me. I would assume that's a season high for Gregory, having spent the big chunk of the season injured, and really it felt like they were trying to find some traction even before she got hurt. West Branch was, and now here they are trying, really finding their stride, and she scores 31 points against a pretty good Austintown Fitch defense. Also in double figures was Livy Showalter with 12 for the Warriors. Cammie Campbell had 7. Hannah Egli had 6. Michaelin Fitz had 4. For the Falcons, Zeta Creaky led them with 15. Kylie Folkwine with 12. Destiny McCullough with 8. The Warriors came back from a 9-point deficit after 1 quarter of play. Fitch had a great first quarter, scored 25 points, was up 25-16. But then West Branch took the second quarter 17-6. So they took a 2-point lead in the halftime. They won the third quarter by 3. And then Fitch won the fourth quarter by 1. Lost the fourth. I misread that number. I'm sorry. Lost the fourth quarter by 3. So after that first quarter, where West Branch was down by 9, they won the next 3 quarters. And, Fitch, obviously, they're going to look at that game and say, man, if we just don't have that second quarter, then we would be fine, because the third and fourth, they might have lost the frames technically, but it wouldn't have been by enough to lose that 9-point lead that they really grabbed in the start of the game. Because they lost by 3 and 3, so they would have still won by 3 even if they kept that second quarter even. They had 3 points to give, but instead West Branch won it by 11, and that's how they were able to come away with that big, not extremely lopsided, but a victory that I think this game was closer than 62-54 would let you commit. Fitch will look to start their tournament on Saturday as they go to Boardman. They're the 22nd seed in the Division 1 district, Boardman, the 16th seed. And West Branch will start their tournament run at home on Wednesday as they host Ravenna, who's 3-16. Um, and you can find interviews with Coach DeShields and Sophia Gregory on ysnlive.com. A full recap of the game breakdown, and interviews with those two conducted by Ty Bartell. It can also be found on our YouTube page. Head over to YSN's YouTube, and while you're over there, if you feel so inclined, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and get yourself taken care of. A very good game in Camel, as someone was going to get their first win of the season. Camel playing Lordstown. Both programs, I love it when programs get a win, and obviously both Lordstown and Camel have been struggling this year, and they've been struggling as a program for a while. But when we look at that, we look at wins and losses, and I know, outside of YSN, teams like this will be the brunt of jokes, and they'll be looked down at. But at the end of the day, um, whether the talent lines up or not, they're still student athletes that are going to school, doing their work in school, and then taking time out of their day to taking time out of their work from school to go and practice every day and do the games every day and put in as much work as they can. I know Camel and the coaching staff down there works hard. They're not a lazy team by any stretch of the imagination. You watch their games, their problems are not a lack of effort. They're not sitting there just jogging down the floor or just giving one of these down the lane. They're definitely not a team that is struggling because of effort. So it's really good when you see those teams who put the effort in and get rewarded with a result. Even if it's just one win on the season, you get something that tangibly tells you that what you've been doing and the work that you've been putting in is paying off in some sort of way. And Campbell got that last night. First win of the season, 33-27 was the final score. They were also honoring their senior Maddie Sugar, who, remember, came into the season really highly anticipated. One of the good players on their team suffered an injury in, I believe, the first game of the season, missed a lot of the season. So they congratulated her on a great career and all the stuff that she brought to this program. She was one of the first players I got to see last season play. I was calling the Camel Sebring game. It was like the first game of the season that I was able to call last year, and anyway, anytime you kick off a season with a buzzer beater, you remember it. And Maddie Sugar hit a buzzer beater to win the game over Sebring, and that's one of the YSN memories that's always going to be locked in there. So Maddie Sugar, you will always be in the YSN memory bank on my account on the games that I've called, because anytime you call a game-winning shot, whether it be for a league championship or just the first game of the season, someone trying to get a win, you will definitely be remembered, because you don't get too many of those as a broadcaster. You don't get too many of those as a coach. You don't get too many of those as a player. So, Maddie Sugar, way to go. Great career for her. Congratulations on everything that she's brought to this program and everything she's done for the Camel community, as well as they're able to honor her with the 33-27 win over Lordstown. Edgewood got the win over Jefferson in their crosstown rival, 54-34. They get the win there. We'll go over some stats from Edgewood. As guess who? I mean, it's not really a surprise that Casey Kanicki led the way, 19 points for her. Katie McAllister had 16 for the Warriors as well. That'll finish the regular season for Edgewood. 18-3 is their final record as they recognize their seniors. It was senior night at Edgewood, so it doesn't get much better than that. You're able to beat your rival on senior night and able to honor the five players, that have contributed so much to their program. Casey Kanicki, one of those seniors. Joanna Anik, a senior as well. Brianna Meloragno, also a senior, along with Gianna Victor, and last but not least, Tori Scarupa, a senior for Edgewood as well. All five of them have put in the work for 4 years, and they got honored with the big win over their crosstown rival Jefferson last night by 20. They will be the 6th seed in the upcoming D2 tournament, and they will definitely look forward to a big run. Big run. They definitely hope. And if they win their first game, they have a rematch with the team that knocked them out of the tournament last year in West Branch. If West Branch wins and Edgewood wins, I should say, on the horizon, and that would be this time in Edgewood instead of in West Branch. So that would definitely be a big storyline if you're able to go and beat the team that ended your season the year before. That's got to be icing on the cake to this wonderful season that Edgewood has had. Last year, they ended the year with just 2 wins inside the conference, 8 wins overall, but 2 wins inside the conference. And now they're 18-3. They finished second in the conference, just 2 losses in the CVC, and they were both to the winners of the CVC and Perry. They were both really close games. So what a program turnaround by Coach Vinsel and his staff, and then of course that we've talked about it before, a family affair down there with Vinsel's on the staff, Vinsel's on the floor. So congratulations to Edgewood on a great regular season, and we cannot wait to see what they're able to do in their tournament run coming up. They will begin that on Wednesday, their tournament run. We go into some more scores. Howland was able to take care of Lakeview 62-32. Alyssa Masucci had herself a day. That's no shock at all. 5 3-pointers, 21 points for her. As they take care of business against Lakeview 62-32. And then the game that meant the most to the standings last night actually came on the boys' side, one of the only boys' games that was being played last night. Brookfield went into Lordstown to play Newton Falls, and first place was on the line. Newton Falls had a 1-game lead on 3 other teams, and Brookfield went in and won 53-50, the final score there. This creates a huge logjam at the top of the MVAC grade tier on the boys basketball side. Let's go look at it. Head over back to ysnlive.com/standings. Go to MVAC and then go into the grade tier of the boys side. Now it's Newton Falls, Brookfield, LeBray, and Camel all with a 10-3 league record. So there's a 4-way tie at the top. Newton Falls has the best overall record at 15-4, but with conference, you throw that out the window. So the next and last week of conference play is going to be wild as these 4 teams try to separate themselves. Once again, Newton Falls, Brookfield, LeBray, Camel, all 10-3 in the conference. What an awesome way to have this MVAC season. We thought the NE8 was crazy with a 3-way tie right now between South Range, Jefferson, and Girard, but 4-way ties, that's even more bonkers, and that's what we have in the grade tier of the MVAC. You look at Brookfield stats last night. It was former one of the Baird Brothers Big Dog of the Valley nominees of the past in Mateo Fortuna that got the lead for Brookfield. He scored 17 points to lead, and then you had double-figure nights from Isaiah Jones, who finished with 11, and also 17 points from Donovan Pawlowski, who finished with 17 as well. So 3 players in double figures for Brookfield as they're able to get the win. You head over to Newton Falls stats. They were led by 15 points from Alex Pennington, and they're one of their stars. Obviously, he's had a great season. Mac Haydick, had 9 points. Brookfield did a good job keeping him in check. He averages double figures on the year, so to keep him under double figures, albeit by 1 point, but you take your victories where you can get them as a defense. So you'll hold Haydick to under his average, and Pennington, 15 points is a good night, but he's obviously capable of going for much more than that. So I think Brookfield has to be pretty happy with their defense on those two, as they combined for, 23 of the 50 points. So They really made Brookfield have to work and they really made Newton Falls, excuse me. They really made Newton Falls have to work and use their supplementary players to their advantage and try to get within that. And Brookfield did a good job on defense, keeping the ones that you circle a couple times on the scouting report away from taking control of that game. And that's what they wanted to do. You better bet that Newton Falls went into a game where they said, we win this, we are in the driver's seat of the MVAC, hoping that their quote-unquote superstars are able to dominate and score a lot of points. But that just wasn't the case. Once again, 15 points for Pennington. That's good, but he's capable of doing a lot more. Like, he's done a lot more damage a lot other times this year. So Brookfield did a good job keeping them in check, and they get the win by 3, and they obviously cause a whole lot of chaos inside that MVAC grade tier. We'll be looking forward to that conclusion of the MVAC season next week to see how things shake up. As for us, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to those interviews. We'll hear from Madison Kibler from United and Savannah Prochek from Lowville. Both those coming up after our break on Ysn's Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Flynn.
Hi, this is Steve Rossetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists.
Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats.
Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
Jimmy Sutton here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and two of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Reliability, innovation, scale. These 3 values are those we look forward to in our business and in our team. If you're ready for a reliable employer who looks constantly to think outside the box in big ways, we're ready for you. Apply now. Help us push the envelope and deliver success. Envelope 1. Take that one extra step.
Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Mill Creek Metro Parks is your park for all seasons. Make a memory in the park. Plan your visit today at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you as always by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you, and we try to do the same. As promised before the break, we got 2 interviews to play for you guys. We will start with the senior at United and their girls program having a great season. They look forward to tournament play next Wednesday against South Range. It is Madison Kibler from United, and let's hear what she had to say in her interview with me. It's great. It's a great conversation. Can't wait for you to hear it. Anthony Hartwig here with the United Girls Basketball Player Profile. I am joined by Madison Kibler. Madison, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Oh, of course.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, of course. That's my bad. But anyway, first question. You had big news yesterday about your future in basketball and your future career. I don't want to take that away from you. So for anyone that didn't see it pop up on our socials or your socials, what decision have you made about your future career?
So I'm planning to go to Geneva, and I think it's a great fit for me. I mean, the girls are amazing. I love the way Coach Grinder runs the team and his style of basketball. So I plan to play there for 4 years.
During your recruiting process, what was it about Geneva that really stuck out and made it the place that you wanted to land next year?
So I would like to major in biochemistry, and they have a really good path through there. And I really liked the team. Like, I went to a practice, they were very, very welcoming, and I just liked the whole environment.
We talk about United this year and the season you've been able to put together, undefeated in the EOAC, league champions outright. What did that mean to you guys when you finally were able to clinch that and put that goal on your checklist?
It means a lot. Obviously, we won last year, but we had one loss in the league. This year, we going undefeated just proves that we were the better team.
And you also really beefed up your non-conference schedule. I mean, what's it been like going through this whole season? And yeah, you took some losses here and there, but you're really playing high caliber teams and trying to get yourselves as sharp as possible for the tournament time.
Yeah, all of our out of league games are very tough, but it also helps us prepare to go play our league. And it's, I think it just helps us even more. I enjoy playing the harder teams. Then we can prove that maybe we are better than a lot of people may say. But I really do enjoy it. So,
as we kind of turn our attention now, you're done with the league. You've clinched that. That goal is done. It's time to focus on tournament time. Has the intensity of practice shifted up a little bit now that everyone knows, it's win or go home time?
Yeah, it definitely has. We're working harder and harder because we obviously want to go far, and we can go far into the tournament. So, yes, we're bringing all that we have.
You've been able to have good coaches throughout your career. Coach Lee coming in this year, what's he brought to the table? What's it been like to be under him for this season?
It's been really amazing being under, his coaching. He's very uplifting, and he would never be mad at anything. If you did something wrong, he teaches you and he shows you how to do it. So, I mean, everything that he does, he's uplifting and positive, and it's actually been really nice.
What's one new thing you've learned this year that maybe you hadn't known or you didn't kind of understand the last three?
It does get harder and harder as you get older. I mean, I didn't play much varsity as a freshman, and then my last 3 years I've played a lot, and I guess I haven't learned anything extremely crazy. It's all been keep going. So
let's go back to your sophomore year when you started to get really consistent varsity time. What was that like to be able to be on the floor so consistently, so young as a sophomore?
It was nice. I mean, it was different, obviously, because I played a little bit as a freshman, and then going in sophomore year and starting and playing the whole game. It was nice getting to have more playing time, and the competition was obviously harder. So I think it really helped me improve.
The senior class seems to be so close with each other. You've been played together for a long time. What's it been like going through this year? One last ride with your fellow seniors.
It's felt great. Me and Taylor Cope, we've played together since third grade, so it's going to be hard not playing with her anymore after I graduate. But we've been in it through this whole time, and it's just me, Chloe, and Taylor left. So.
And this year as a senior, you've been asked to, be a little bit of a bigger leader and take more responsibilities as a senior. How have you handled that this year? Just trying to be a little bit more of a vocal leader and being more of a driving force for this team's success.
Yes, so me, Taylor, and Addie Blazer are team captains for our team, and we just try to be uplifting with our teammates. If something goes wrong, just be like, it's okay, coach them through it. And it's been nice being a role model and leader for the team and uplifting everybody.
With the success you guys have had, you're obviously role models to the younger generation. We see your youth nights that you're able to have every year. Girls coming up to you, they want your autograph. They want to be in your shoes when they grow up. What's that mean to you and your teammates, knowing that every time you step on the floor, there are younger girls watching you guys?
It means a lot. I coach fifth grade girls for 2 years now, and just letting them see how the game of basketball is played and teaching them, and having them look up to us is really important to us and all of my teammates. And we enjoy every time that they show out to our games and support us.
I mean, let's talk about that because you're coaching fifth grade girls. We scheduled this interview around your game, around the coaching career. What's that been like, kind of putting on your coaching whistle and being able to be a coach the last 2 years?
It's awesome. I love all of my girls. They're very good listeners. They catch on to things so easily. It's been a great opportunity and experience for me. Obviously, next year I won't be able to coach them. I'll only make a few appearances to games, but they when I have something to say, they're all ears. They want to listen to me. They want to get better. Some of them want to play AAU like I did as a fifth grader, and I think that's awesome.
How much of your former coaches do you see yourself in your coaching style, or current coach? Like, how much of your coaching and the way that you've been coached yourself do you see reflected in the way that you coach?
Yes, so Scott Cope, Taylor's dad, he was my coach as a child, and he always pushed us, hard practices, and that's exactly what I do with my little girls. I don't let them, they have a few breaks, but they're always going hard all the time, 24/7. I don't let them let up, 100% effort all the time, and I definitely pulled that from Scott Cope and my father, which coached also.
Do you see yourself maybe coaching after your playing career is inevitably over and you do your college basketball career? Do you see yourself coming back and being Coach Kibler?
Yes, I do. I would really like to come back and coach for any team around here. United, that would be nice, but I do plan on coaching as soon as I get out of college, and hopefully I can coach my sister's team when they get up to high school.
Timing is working out like that. When you talk about United and you talk about this school system, the community, obviously they've supported their girls basketball team for a long time before you were there, and now definitely while you're there. What's it mean to be in a school that really backs their sports and backs their girls sports specifically?
It means a lot. I mean, we get posts all the time for our sports announced on the announcements. I mean, we have a lot of students show up on really important games to support us, and it feels amazing having that type of community around you.
You guys have that small school mentality. You're kind of in the middle of nowhere. A lot of teams outside of the EOAC don't really know who United is. When you go into new places or you play new teams, do you have that chip on your shoulder where like you guys want to go prove who United is and show them what you guys are made of?
Yeah, we definitely do. We're just, a team by a bunch of cornfields. I mean, no one knows really who we are sometimes when we go up there. They show up to our school and are like, what is this? It really feels nice to show them what we have and what they might not think we have. Yeah.
Every athlete has something about their home gym that makes it feel like home to them. What is it about that United gym? It's very unique. It's very kind of characteristic. What is it about your home gym that makes it feel like home to you when you're playing in it?
It's probably all the fans that we have in the stands. I mean, just getting to look up there, turn around on the bench and see all of your family and friends in your community supporting you. I don't think it gets much better than that.
Are there any United girls from the past that you looked up to while you were growing up? So, we talked about all these little girls that are looking up to you. Who did you look up to in the United programs when you were growing up as a kid?
I looked up to Haley Anderson. She actually trained me a lot when I was younger, and she was a really hardworking player, and I look up to her the most.
When you look in your gym and you see all the girls' basketball banners that you guys were able to put up as a program, does it make you proud that now you guys are putting up some banners and you're able to kind of put your own stake into that gym?
Yeah, it does. Getting to walk into that gym every day, going to school and seeing the 2022 and then 2023 is going up there. It means a lot because we were all part of that, and we deserved it. We worked hard for it. Yeah.
When you started your career, how much of a motivating factor was it to see all the historic success that the program had and really trying to want to get United back to what they were?
Yeah, so when we won last year, the last actual league win, I think, was in 2013. So it had been a long time ago, and we all wanted that to change. And seeing the success that our girls had before that, years on years, we wanted to continue that again.
All right, let's talk about a little bit off the court. We talked about what you want to major in. What are some of your favorite subjects in school that you have that you're able to really excel in?
I love science and I love math. Those are probably my two favorite subjects. Science is definitely my favorite.
What subject would you say that you've had to work the hardest at has given you the most trouble throughout high school?
English. That is the hardest one for me. I do so well in all the other ones, and English is my trouble. So
I know there are probably a lot of answers to this. What do you think is like the toughest paper you've had to kind of write, or the toughest assignment in English that you've had to tackle?
we had to write a persuasive essay not that long ago, and I spent forever on it. And it only had to be 3 pages, but it took me a long time to finish that paper.
Does it make it like when you succeed in English because you had to work so hard at it and it is a struggle spot? Does that make you even more proud of yourself when you're able to, get a good grade on an English paper?
Yes, it does. I got a better grade than I thought I was going to get, and I was pleased when I turned it in. I was so happy that I got it done, worked hard on it, and didn't get a bad grade. So,
is there one English teacher throughout your schooling career that has helped you the most in trying to kind of get you through the toughness that is English?
So yes, Miss Hargrove. She's actually the English teacher I have right now, which I struggle the most with, but she's always open to helping me, or, hey, if you need any help after school, I'm up to help you and tutor you, and I really appreciate that from her.
All right, so do you have any routines or superstitions on the basketball court that you have to stick to?
So I have to do form shots before I start shooting outside. Like, I will not start shooting 3-pointers. I won't start shooting mid-range. I have to start right in front of the basket for at least 5 minutes before I can go shoot anything else.
Is that pregame or anytime practice, pregame warm up, anything,
Yep.
Everything is all that way?
Yes.
What's your favorite pregame meal?
My favorite pregame meal is probably Subway. My mom actually, for big games, my mom will go get me Subway, and it always makes me play good anyways, so that's probably my favorite.
What's the go-to order down at Subway?
I like steak and cheese with vegetables on it. That's probably my favorite.
What about like post-game? You get a big win, you want to celebrate a little bit. Where you go post-game?
The other half of my sub.
Save that one for the win.
Yeah.
Does it get eaten either way? Like win or lose, you're eating the other half of that sub?
Yep, pretty well. We usually lose. I'm probably like, I'm just going to go to bed, not think about tonight, But definitely after a win, the other half of the sub is eaten.
Nowadays, you can watch film anywhere with an iPad or an iPhone. The Huddle has made it easy to watch film whenever you want. When's your favorite time to watch your own game film or watch an opponent's film and really just take in your either your own game or take in your upcoming opponent's game?
I watch YSN right after my games. I watch the whole game over again. That's
really?
Probably, yes, me and my family, we watch the whole game over again, evaluate it, That's probably my favorite thing to do. And like, it's right after the game, I come straight home, sit down on my couch, sit with my family and rewatch the whole game.
Have there ever been a time when you're rewatching the game and you're like, I can't believe that happened. I don't even remember that happened.
Yeah. Or you're like, why did I make that decision? That is sometimes. Yeah, for sure.
What's been like the most fun moment to rewatch in your career on YSN?
The Southern game, the Southern local game. That is 100% my favorite game that I rewatched. It was a great environment to be in. The Southern away game and home. I liked both of them. It was a great environment. Our crowd was huge. It was just really nice. One
of the last questions I have before we let you go, we talked about your future and what you want to do in college and what you want to major in. Any life experiences or things that you've gone through that made you want to go into that career path that you want to go into?
Not really. I just know that I want to go in the medical field to help others, but I really like the idea of being a physician's assistant out of biochemistry and maybe going into dermatology. I mean, that's probably what I would like to do, but there hasn't been really anything that's like pushed me that way. It's more that I like skincare. I like all that stuff. So that would be why.
All right, Madison, I wanted to give you the chance to give a shout out to your support system and all the people that have been there for you throughout your career before we get you out of here.
Okay, I would like to thank my family, my teammates, my community for everything that they have done for me, supporting me, and I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate the time to get to know you a little bit and talk to you here. Congratulations on everything you this season. Congratulations on signing to Geneva. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the way, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you.
Madison Kibler, the senior leader of United, and what a great conversation that was with her. We're going to move right along to Savannah Prochek from Lowville as we continue Running Point, hear from another great senior leader out of Lowville for the Rockets. Here you go. Anthony Hartwig here with a Lowville girls basketball player profile, joined by Savannah Prochek. Savannah, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, when we talked to Coach Moldowski way before the year started, or her season preview, one of the things that she talked about was the confidence of this team growing every day. And I think you're kind of the arrowhead of that. How has your confidence continued to grow throughout your career?
I've always been a confident player. I started playing when I was really young, so I had time to adjust and get used to the sport. I'd say freshman year, I started a little less confident, and just as I got older, confident playing against people close to my age and everything definitely helped too.
What kind of things have you done to try to instill that confidence in your teammates and kind of build their confidence as well?
Supporting them, just knowing that, having them know that I have their back no matter what, and that I believe they can do it, I think helps them too.
So coming into this year as confident, as a confident player and trying to raise the confidence of the team, what were some of your goals that you had for the year?
They're just winning games. We've had some big games that we've taken on. We beat Ridge when we played them away. We just lost them last night, which that hurt. We beat McDonald for the first time in my high school career, which was definitely exciting, and just beating these teams that we haven't had the chance to beat in the past.
When you think about, some of those moments that you've had this year and some of the moments that you're trying to gather and trying to hold on to, what have been some of your favorite memories so far?
I think beating McDonald was huge for us. Playing Crestview, we ended up losing, but just being in a game that had no expectations, people thought we were going to get blown out by 30 or so, and we ended up losing by, I think, 8 and stayed in it the whole entire time. That was really exciting.
I mean, when you have a game like that, Crestview is considered one of the better teams in Division III. So when you have a game like that, how much does it kind of help you going forward, knowing that, hey, we can compete with anybody if we play like that?
Yeah, I think something that has happened last year for us is going into tournaments. We always seem to pick up and play just better as a team. So we finished the end of the season strong every year, and I think that kind of set us to be ready for tournaments.
We're about getting into tournament time. It's just a week away, and last year you guys had a fun tournament going down to Badger, getting an upset win over the Braves. How much have you guys used that experience as a springboard into this year?
Oh, we talk about it all the time. That was probably one of the most exciting games of my life, and hopefully we want to see them again sometime this tournament and try to do it again.
When you think about what the practices are like and how much intensity goes up for tournament time, especially for the seniors, because it's winter, your basketball career is over. What is that starting to be like during practices and during these games when the season is winding down?
Knowing that Thursday is my last time ever playing on my home court, I'm definitely starting to feel it now. So taking practice serious and just working hard so we can elongate our season is what we're looking to do.
How are you going to handle those emotions on Thursday when it is your last game on that court?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to break down.
Every court has something about it, though, that makes it feel like home to athletes. So Lowville's got its own characteristic and its own uniqueness as a gym. What makes it feel like home to you?
We have all our senior banners. We get them done really big, and they hang up by the mezzanine, and we just have so many. And just knowing that I went through all these years with all my other seniors, seeing us up there is kind of huge.
We've been to plenty of games down in Lowville, and you guys really bring the student section. These students really support you guys. What's it mean to you to know that you have a community that backs you up?
It means everything. Our community backs us. Us as players, we back the boys. Like, everyone's there for each other. Everyone wants each other to succeed, and it is something special.
And you're a multiple sport athlete, so you get to feel that in every sports season. What's that been like to try to balance all these sports and try to go right into the next one when the first one's over and try to keep that mentality up?
It's definitely a lot, but I don't know what I'd be doing if I wasn't constantly doing something. So, but yeah, there's days where I'll wake up, go to school at 7, practice right after school, get ready to cheer at a game, and not get home till 9:30 p.m. And those days are long, but it's exciting. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, that's crazy to be a cheerleader and the basketball player and, do all the sports that you do in the other seasons. Um, what are some of your favorite things about the hecticness of your life?
I never have nothing to do. I always have something to do. Never bored.
We talking about your basketball. What's your favorite thing about cheerleading and some of the best memories that you've been able to maybe able to make in that as well?
Every summer we go to a cheer camp with the team and we stay there for 3 days and then have a competition. And the 3 days with the team is so fun. And then we also always end up doing really well in the competition too. So it's a lot of fun.
What's your favorite cheer that you guys have? Do you have a favorite cheer?
I do, and everyone gets irritated with me because I call it every single game, but it goes blue and gold, blue and gold.
Which one do you think gets the crowd the most hyped up? Like, which one do you think is your go-to when you need to get the Lowville students up and going?
We always do YELL, and everyone knows little hand movements, so the student section will join in with us, and it's really fun.
All right, so if you could have, let's just take it because we're gonna have no cheerleaders at the girls' games, obviously. But if there could be, if you could have some boys basketball players that you think would make great cheerleaders for the girls' games, which boys basketball players are you picking?
Anthony Luceni. He could be the one and only.
One and only. It's all you need. When you think about your teammates and what you've been able to go through with them, what teammate do you think have you gotten to know the most over the course of the season?
I think each season it's definitely changed. This one, I'd say me and Lily Very Capola, we kind of have like a little connection out in the court now, and it just makes like seeing the court a lot easier.
Which teammate are you the most confident in that when you're done with basketball and you're out of Lowville that you will absolutely stay connected with and absolutely like keep building that friendship with?
Avery Shoemaker. She's my best friend. Playing this sport together too has definitely brought us even closer.
When we come back next year and we ask some of these Lowville players what it meant to them to play with Savannah and like what impact she left on the team, what do you hope the answer would be to that?
My positivity. I think I'm really well at staying positive and keeping other people positive because sometimes people get in their heads, and I think I'm good about staying out of my own head and helping other people get out of theirs too.
How much has Coach Moldelsky helped with that for you personally? I mean, we talked to her a lot. She's a great basketball coach. What has it meant to you to be under her?
Oh, so much. I think my confidence and all my ability comes from her. She's taught me so much over these past 4 years, for sure.
What do you think is the one thing that she's pushed you the most in, or she's gotten you to understand, or maybe a skill that she's really gotten you to master?
I think defense in general is something she's always pushed, and I think it's worked. I think we're a really good team defensively, so I think everything she's done with that has really helped us.
We've talked about the community support, and obviously that's going to be one of the answers. But the question I have is, what makes you proud to wear the colors of Lowville and proud to represent that school?
Just the spirit. We have a ton of school spirit here. I think everyone is proud to be a Rocket, and the community is a big part of it. It's huge.
I can't believe I didn't ask this when you were talking about you being a multiple sport athlete, but I guess the question is now, which one's your favorite?
Basketball is my favorite for sure. I think I have a lot of fun with volleyball too, but basketball beats it.
All right. When you think about the best feeling in sports, so the best feeling in the basketball game, which one is it for you?
Going into a game as an underdog and coming out on top. Shocking a crowd.
Shocking a crowd. What do you think is some of your favorite basketball memories that you've, on the court memories that you've had? We've talked about on the court memories, off the court memories is what I meant, off the court memories with this team.
We always do a summer league every season, and it's a lot more laid back than your regular season, but you work on improving and everything, and we just always make it so much fun.
We always talk about chemistry on a basketball team and how important it is. What are some things that Lowville does in their program to build team chemistry?
As a smaller community, we all kind of know each other already, so I think it helps just being friends with the people before you even start the sport, and then just growing those closer bonds as you're playing throughout the year.
What have been some of your favorite kind of team bonding exercises that you guys have been able to do over your career?
Probably just going out. Like after games, we'll go out with our friends and everything, and that's fun.
So since it's your senior season and we do have to talk about the end, we also have to talk about the future and what kind of things you want to do after high school.
Right now, I don't know where I'm going to college yet, but I am going for nursing, and yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Since you have such a good idea of what you want to do, is there a life experience that kind of drew you to nursing, or is it just something that you've kind of always wanted to do, or is it something you fell into? What made you go into that career and wanting to be a nurse?
See, my mind has changed like a million times on what I've wanted to do, but over the past few months, I've really thought about nursing, and I think there's just a lot of opportunity with it, which is kind of why I'm leaning towards that.
All right, with all that change and all that decision making, what are some of the other options that you had swirling in your head?
Oh, let's think about this. I wanted to go into physical therapy at one point. I'd say probably the last thing I really thought about, though, was going into sports management. I think that would be really exciting. So that still crosses my mind every once in a while. But
so you're still looking for a school. Do you want to travel far away, or do you want to stay closer to home?
I like a little bit of in between. So I'm between 3 schools right now, and it's Ohio University, Kent State, and the University of Kentucky.
All right, Kentucky. Okay. When you think about those 3 schools, obviously are in your reality. But if you had like a dream state where you could go and live, if you could go anywhere and say, I want to live for 4 years in this state, what state would it be?
Oh, if it wasn't so expensive, Hawaii.
What's your favorite vacation spot that you've been to so far?
Ooh, we go to Key West every spring, and it's my favorite.
What about one place that you haven't been yet that you'd love to be?
Probably Italy.
Where is there like a specific spot in Italy, or just drop me in the country anywhere?
Drop me in the country.
I love it.
I think Venice would be really exciting to go to.
Do you speak Italian?
Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Do you speak any foreign language? Like, do you take a foreign language, I should say?
I did 3 years of Spanish, and I don't know much, but I have a little bit.
How much did that? I was about to say, how much did that help you? We talk about, you're so hectic, you're always working, you always have something to do. But in your downtime, when you do get downtime, what are some hobbies that you have outside of sports?
I like to read. I definitely don't read as much as I'd like to, but every now and again I'll pick up a book, and I do a lot of shopping. That's what I do most of the time when I'm free.
Is there one book that you could read over and over and over, no matter how many times you read it?
I'm not the type of person that can reread something.
No.
I can't read those either.
All right, then if that's the case, what has been your favorite book that you've read? The one that kind of really stuck with you the most?
That's a tough question. I think in middle school I read the book All the Bright Places, and because one of my teachers, she told me to read it, and I think it's been one of my favorites ever since.
Obviously, when you're assigned a book in school, it's not something that you pick. It's just like, hey, you have to read this. So, what's been your favorite book that you've been assigned to read as a assignment in school?
Ooh, I don't even remember half of them. What was it? I think it was called, oh no, Dear John.
Okay, well, that's a book, so we'll just go with it.
I think
and then you talked about shopping. So the question is, what's the go-to, like, read the store that you go to the most?
Target. I will walk around in there for hours.
What's one thing that you spend more money on than you should?
Food. The amount of times I get fast food a week is disgusting.
What's the favorite?
It's a tie between Taco Bell and Chick-fil-A.
When you want a pregame meal, is there one of the fast food joints that you go to?
I usually go to Chick-fil-A if it's a game.
All right. What about postgame meal?
Ooh, that's usually Taco Bell because they're open late.
There you go. It's a toss-up. one thing I want to ask you also is about your family. I want you to talk about your family a little bit and what makes them such a unique group and what makes them special to you.
Uh, they're an amazing support system. Both of my parents have been there from the very beginning. My dad put me into basketball when I want to say I was 4 years old. He's coached me for many teams. He's been there for all of it. My mom's come. I don't even think you could count on your hands how many games she's missed out of since I was little. We've done a lot of traveling basketball too, so we've been all over the country traveling, and they've always been there for me and supported me in everything I wanted to do.
All right, Savannah, before we let you go, if there's anyone else that you haven't mentioned in this interview that you want to thank or give a shout out to for their support, I want to give you the time to do that.
I would just want to thank my teammates, my coaches, the community, and my family. They're always there.
All right, Savannah, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate all the time. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the way, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you so much.
Savannah Prochik, the senior from Lowville, and what a great conversation. Man, Miss do everything, cheerleading and basketball at the same time, not to mention volleyball. What a great multiple sport athlete that always busy. I couldn't even juggle just school in high school. So to juggle school, basketball, and cheerleading all in the same semester, that can't be easy at all. So commend you to that. Commend to that for Savannah Prochik. What great two interviews. Great two interviews with two great seniors, Madison Kibler and Savannah Prochik, and we look forward to seeing what they can do in the tournament. Lowville last year had that big upset win over Badger in the tournament. They'll look to make some noise again this year. Talk about the games that are going to be on the network tonight before we get out of here. Boardman will travel to Liberty at the 6 o'clock tip-off. All these are going to be non-conference games, so last chance to really tune up your season and tune up your skills before tournament time for most of these teams. Boardman at Liberty, once again, 6 o'clock tip. Alec Caberna will be on the call there. Champion goes to Waterloo. Ty Bartell going to be in Atwater for that one. 6 o'clock tip there. East will go to Lowville. Eric Hughes will be on the call. 6 o'clock tip. There you go. Beaver Local will go to United. Chris Sigler will be on the call for that one. Canfield goes to Poland in the rematch of the Battle of 224. Canfield won the first matchup in Canfield. Lordstown will be at Niles. Ian O'Brien will be on the call there, 7 o'clock tip. Maslin Jackson will travel to Salem. This is going to be a fun one. For those of you that don't know, Salem's defense, great. And then Jackson sports two players that are both going into Division I in basketball. Lauren Pallotta going to Dayton, and Patabanla going to Wisconsin. So two D1 players on that roster for Jackson that's coming into Salem tonight. And that should be a very fun one. Even though Jackson might maybe not having the season they expected to, coming off their deep tournament run last year and returning talent like that, I think it's going to be the biggest test that Salem has this year, without a doubt. So it's going to be fun to watch them do it. South Range will travel to Western Reserve. Noah Doty going to be on the call there at 7 o'clock. And then last but not least on the network, Ursuline will be at Hubbard. David Williams on the call. A couple other games going on tonight. Badger at Girard at 5:30. Cheney at Valley Christian at 7 o'clock. Springfield goes to La Brea at 7. Lisbon travels to Southern at 6 o'clock. And then Latonia will be at McDonald at 6 o'clock. So I stand corrected. There is one conference game tonight with Lisbon at Southern. That'll be an EOAC matchup there. And then we get a shout out from Coach Modelski from Lowville that is tuning in, giving a shout out to her senior that was just interviewed. Coach Modelski, one of the best, and congratulations to her on a great regular season. And once again, we wish Lowville the best of luck in their tournament run that is coming up. We know they can make some noise. They proved it last year. With that being said, we will sign out for today and head over into tomorrow's Running Point from 1 to 2. Ty Bartell will be joining us as he'll have probably some stories from Las Vegas to share with us, and we'll also talk about the start of the girls tournament on Saturday. We'll talk about the boys games that will be happening tomorrow night. We'll recap tonight's action. We'll have a lot of fun on a Friday tomorrow from 1 to 2. Power Hour is coming up next from 3 to 4. And then check out ysnlive.com/live for all the games that'll be on our schedule tonight. That's where you can find the links to them. All of them are free. Thanks to our wonderful sponsors, including